Hey guys, we hope you all are having an awesome week. We're really excited to have another family video for you guys, and we hope that in the middle of a really busy week with all the things going on that you guys can create a little bit of time as a family just to sit together, to talk together. And we're really excited about this series because we're getting to partner with the church on how they are talking about #blessed and this idea that we are blessed to be a blessing to others. And so on Sunday nights with students, we're getting to talk about the same thing and just dive in at a little bit of a different angle, but using the same material. And so what you as parents are learning on Sunday mornings and students on Sunday nights gets to be all around this same idea. And so we really hope it'll be a really sweet time for you guys as a family. And so this week, we're going to dive into how specifically we can use our story, the testimony, the life we've been given to be a blessing to others. And so the two passages we have are one in Acts 17, and this passage talks about how God is who created the world. God's who mapped out our whole lives and has made it all so that we would get to walk alongside him. And then the second passage is in 1 Thessalonians, and it talks about how as a gift, we get to share not only the gospel of God, but our very lives with the people around us. And so if you pause for a second, we're going to have the scripture come up on the screen. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We have a few points coming out of that scripture. And the first point coming out of Acts 17 is that we are not the authors or the main characters of our story. And I think it's really comforting to remind ourselves that God is the one who created everything. It said he created the heavens and the earth, and he mapped out our whole life. He designed it all so that we would see him in this verse. And it's really comforting to me to know that he's the one that holds the pen. And sometimes that can feel like a little bit of a loss of control. But it's also beautiful to know that he has mapped out every detail of our life. There's not one thing that's going to happen that's going to be a surprise to him. And that he knows that he gets to walk alongside us through all of that. And the second thing of that is that we aren't the main characters. I know it's really tempting for me, and it's really common in our culture for people to say, like, I want to hear your story. Like, can you share your testimony with me? And it's really easy to share that story like it's a story just about me. A story about what I've done in my life, what I've accomplished, the people I've known, the ways I've been able to impact others. But I think we miss the point when we make it all self-focused. We get to miss sharing what God is doing in our life, and that he is the true main character of our story, and that we are written into his story, and we're a part of so much bigger than just ourselves. And the second point is this, that every element of our story, every little piece of it can draw us closer to Jesus. I love in Acts 17 where it says that he basically laid out our life so that we would see him because he's not far from each of us. And that's so comforting and so special to me. Because I know, for me at least, there are some parts of my story that I'm like, if I could have chosen that, that wouldn't have been what I chose. And I bet for you, there are things in your life that you wouldn't have picked that either. But each and every part of our story, God can use to draw us closer to him. Because just as this truth said, he's not far from each of us. And the last point I have in this is that the stories of what God is doing in our life can be used to bless others. In 1 Thessalonians 2:8 it says, "So deeply did we love you that we were delighted to share not only the gospel of God with you, but our very lives as well." And that's so sweet. It's so awesome that we get to bless others by just simply sharing our lives with them, but also sharing what God is doing in our lives and letting that be a testament to others of who God is and what he can do in their hearts as well. And so we're going to have a little bit of discussion time for you guys to come around this idea of God is the author of our story, that it is about him. This is a story about what he is doing in the world, that every piece of your story can draw you closer to him, and that all the stories of what God is doing in our life, all around the world, all in every area of our life, can be used to bless others. And so the questions are this: what does it mean for you for God to be the creator and the author of your story? And the second one, how can you use each and every part of your story to draw you closer to Him? And the last one, think specifically about your story and how can you use your story to be a blessing to others? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed discussion time. We're going to lastly end with a prayer prompt. And I think this is a really sweet and really important time as a family for you guys just to come around in prayer and to talk about these things and to lean in to your Father, lean into God and what He's speaking into it as well. And so the prayer prompt is this: how can you specifically use your story to be a blessing to others? And I want you to gather these thoughts. Think about the story you've been given. Even talk about the story as a family that you all have. A lot of that is shared. And how can you specifically use your story to bless others and to point others towards Him? We'll see you guys next week.